We are in the middle of fantasy draft season. It is peak season. You might have already had your first draft. You might have multiple drafts coming up. It is like Christmas if you are a fantasy football junkie. It is time to go head to head against your idiot college friends, your coworkers, your family members, whoever it may be, friend or foe. You're trying to take home fantasy glory, and you got to prep. You got to go through the mock drafts. You got to understand what other people are doing. And for some reason or another, you guys trust us and our opinions. So here we are. I am your host, Shaun and Aidan. I am joined by my good friend, my co-host, my fellow knower of ball, Aidan Holler. Aidan, today, for the first time, out of a request from one of the mean team, we're going to do a Superflex mock draft. I'm quite excited. Who was the commenter that said we should do this? What was his name?
It was
again?
our guy 16N Man.
16N Man.
Hopefully you're
This
out
for
there.
You, man.
Yeah, this is first ever Superflex redraft, mock draft on the program. So we're excited. We play in some Superflex dynasty leagues, but not so much redraft. So we're excited. I think this is really good practice for us, and we're excited to get into it. Much different.
Superflex is a fun format. I've played it in redraft. Sure. It's definitely more challenging, and the big question is do I take two quarterbacks at the beginning of the draft? Do I wait? So we're gonna have some strategy here for you. I'm gonna be picking from the 103. Aidan's gonna be picking from the 1-9. This is a 10-team PPR Superflex mock draft where you start one quarterback, you have two running backs, two wide receivers, a normal flex, so wide receiver, running back, or tight end. Then you've got your Superflex, which could be a quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, running back. Then we have a tight end, and no defense or kicker with this one, right? But it's going to be 14 rounds. So the assumption is if you're playing in a league with a defense and kicker, just take those in the last two picks of your draft. So we got 14 rounds here, standard PPR, Superflex draft. I'm very excited to jump in and do this. I'm going to, I'd say, mop the floor with Aidan, if that's an appropriate way to say it. But yeah, I'm going to bury you alive. I'm going to bury you alive, and your family is going to root for me. They're going to be so happy with how I did today. So that's how it's going to go down. So be prepared for that.
I'm ready. I'm going to the championship with this team.
Okay. Did you just say you're going to call HR?
I'm calling HR on you. Yeah.
Before we dive in, though, one quick thing. Me, Aidan, and Keegan, who's not here, Keegan the mustache one, if you follow our content before. We just started this podcast, this channel around like 18 months ago. We love it. We've grown a decent amount. It's been a ton of fun, but we have full-time jobs. So this is a labor of love for us. And one day we hope to grow this beyond what we're doing now. But honestly, guys, we can't do it without all of you. So if this is the first time you've discovered us on YouTube and YouTube recommended us, or if you've been rocking with us a while and you haven't yet had a chance to subscribe to the channel, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, tell us what you're thinking. All that stuff really goes a long way as we try to grow our audience. So that's about it. I'm pandering. I think I'm getting really good at the pandering, Aidan.
Like, you're nervous. You're nervous, and I can tell.
My heart is palpitating as I ask the mean team to join the regression to the mean channel. Okay, enough asking me favors of you all. Let's get down to the nitty gritty here. I'm going to start the draft. We have 30 seconds on the clock. I'm just going to confirm it. 30 seconds here, 10 teams. Yep, we're ready to go. Aidan, I'm going to start the timer. I get the goosebumps every time, man. Okay. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen are off the board. Could be tempted to go with CMC here. That's always the question. I think overall, though, it would be a little foolish if I didn't take Jalen Hurts here in a super flex league. Quarterback's the most important. Hurts is so consistent as a fantasy producer. So I'm going to happily take Jalen Hurts here at the 103.
Yeah, you would really need to pull some wizardry to like piece together the QB room after passing on these kind of like first round of wow, Lamar really at 9. Okay, that wasn't in the range of outcomes. I might go 2 QB. I didn't see that. I was planning on taking a wide receiver, like a Jamar Chase or ARSB, and taking a Rich on the way back. Wow, Lamar. Wow, I don't know if I can do that. That'd be crazy. But man, Lamar Jackson and A Rich, your QBs, like you really don't need a third one. Whereas, if you go maybe one now and one flex player, you probably need 3 QBs. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for the team. I'm fearless. We're going Lamar and A-Rich. Man, that would be such a fun team to start with.
Burrow off the board. Okay. So I'm in an interesting position here where I could take a Garrett Wilson or Jahmyr Gibbs and be pretty happy with it and try and take value down the board. I do see Jordan Love, which is interesting, and I could pair him with Jalen Hurts. But I love Kyler Murray. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna take Jordan Love on the wrap. I'm gonna take Jahmyr Gibbs here. Actually, no, I'm gonna take Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson off the board. Not gonna overthink that. Oh, I was gonna say no way Kyler fell to me. Okay. I am a little tempted to take a running back here and just try and find value down the draft. Like I could take a Caleb.
Yeah, there's still some other really good QBs. I thought Kyler was going to get to you. Or do you go with Jordan Love? I'm
going to take Jordan Love. I'm going to take Jordan Love. Well, no, I think actually I'm not. I'm going to take Jonathan. Wait. Nope, I'm going to take Jordan Love. See, this is indecisive.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard. I'm going to take Jordan Love.
What's nice, though, is now I don't need to think QB. Like, I've completely taken that decision out of my brain. Man, I really don't want to take Karen. It's just plain and simple. I just don't want to do it.
Don't do it.
I'd almost rather just smash wideouts here. I'm not going to lie. I really like the wide receivers here. I'm going to take. Man, I'm pandering. All right, I'm doing Drake London.
Oh, you got Drake London? Did you get hit with the timeout?
No, I was just getting nervous.
Okay. Panic pick.
That was a mild panic, and then I'm gonna go with a bit more of a proven commodity, and I'm gonna take Tay.
Okay,
so we got
that's solid.
The safe wide receiver, and then we've got the it could be the boat, it could be like what's in the box.
Perfect here. I already have Garrett Wilson. I have both my quarterbacks. I want my high upside running back, Devon Achane. Achane, nice. One of my favorite players in all of fantasy. Gonna scoop up Achane here.
There you go.
No way. Oh, wow.
Ayuk on the way back?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have... Oh, but Waddle. I'm so torn over Ayuk. I'm a big Niners fan. This is brutal, though, what's going on with Ayuk and the way he's holding out. I do have some concerns here. But, I don't know. This is PPR. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to take Ayuk. Did it. There it is. Ayuk in the... It just throws you off when Ayuk...
I'm not sure what the running back plan is. The farther into this draft I get to. Because how many? I've got 2 wide receivers and only 1 flex. I do need a running back. I might reach a little on one here. First, which one of my guys do I get? Do I get Nico or DJ? That's the $1 million question. I'm taking DJ though.
Whoa, no bias.
No bias on this one. We're taking DJ. Man. Really don't love that as my running back one. I got to get one on the board here, or else it's going to get dark pretty fast. I'll go with James Cook here.
When did Pacheco go off the board? Oh, yeah, 4th round. Okay,
right before, right after you.
Okay, I have 2 of my receivers covered. So this is, come on. I got Nico Collins right here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Nico is my wide receiver 3. Oh, I'm building a super team. This shouldn't be allowed here. I mean, it is a 10-team Superflex. So
it is 10.
I will not be taking. I will not be taking Kyle Pitts here. Ideally, I'd like to take a running back, but there's really nothing here. It's kind of the dead zone. I already have 3 wide receivers. I could take Evan Ingram, but let's stack some depth. Let's get Devontae as my wide receiver 4. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I want another running back yet. I actually really like Evan Ingram here.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Ingram here. Fill out my tight end. Pretty good there at the end of the 7th. And then the decision here is, do I take a wide receiver or a running back? I don't love Aaron Jones. I could reach a bit on Mondre. I think I'm going to gamble a bit, see who makes it back here. I didn't take Nico, so I still want a piece of that offense, and I'm going to take Tank Dell as my wide receiver 4.
Tank Dizzy.
I'm feeling pretty good about this. I just need one running back. I just need one running back here.
I think people have left the video after I called him Tank Dizzy.
Yeah, it's all right. They made it to the 8th round. That was
rough. That was rough. Wait, okay, David Montgomery's gone. That was definitely a target here. I think I'm just going to take James Conner. I got 10 seconds left on the clock. I like Conner as my RB2. Big fan of this Cardinals offense. I want in. I need a tight end. I definitely need a second running back. I could take Najee Harris here as my RB3. Man, I love David Njoku this year. I think people are sleeping on the Chief. I think people are sleeping on the Chief, man. I'm going to take David Njoku in the 9th round. I like that.
I was gambling on Najee making it back. I'm just going to get ahead of this one. Now it's dark. This might have been a bit of a way too long situation here. Man, I don't really actually. I'm going to take Tony on the way back. I'm taking
Anthony.
No, Pollard.
Yeah, Anthony Pollard.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go a bit of a upside wide receiver pick here in Xavier Worthy.
Okay, that's fun.
It's really trending up in terms of his stock. And then I'll take Anthony Pollard.
Anthony.
I'm gonna need some more running back help. But man, I may have gotten greedy by not taking one at the 3rd and 4th round turn there, but it's okay.
Man, I think I want my 3rd quarterback, and I just want to be done. And if I have these 3, I feel super happy. I think this would have been my target if I waited and just stacked running backs. But give me Will Levis, man. Give me Mayo Boy. Give me Mayo Boy as my QB3. Yeah, I'm done at quarterback. I wanted 3 quarterbacks. Then it's done. Running back time. I don't love having shares of the Denver Broncos offense, but man, I think Javonte is going to see a lot of targets, in this offense, PPR format. I'm taking Javonte. Here's my running back 3.
I desperately need a Zach Moss pick here. Okay. We've navigated it to, all right, Zach. Okay. We're good here. All good here. We got Zach Moss. The running back room's in a much, much safer place now. I should probably take a 3rd QB while I'm at it too here. I think the safest pick here is probably Baker or Geno. I'm not going to roster Deshaun Watson.
No thanks.
I have too much integrity. I'll go with Baker. Baker was actually sneaky. What he was like? What QB? Oh, where was he again? Yeah, QB 10 last year. He was actually pretty good.
No, Geno is a good QB3 to take too. Yeah. Honestly,
I'd be happy with both of them as my QB3 here.
All things considered. Okay, probably need to dip back in the wide receiver pool. We got some quarterbacks here. I haven't taken a ton of them. I haven't been super interested in him in best ball, but oh no, I'm not taking Jackson Smith-Njigba. I'm taking Brian Thomas, baby. Come on. JSN's fine. He could have a big year, but I want BTJ. Brian Thomas Jr., his upside is ridiculous. Give it to me.
The buzz has been really positive around him lately.
It has. And JSN's off the board. Okay, so I've got a tight end, 3 running backs. I probably need to jump back in the running back pool. Chase Brown's really interesting. So is Corum. But I probably need more of a starter than an upside play, considering my running back room right now. I'm probably going to take Chase Brown here, even though I really like Corum's upside.
Oh, that means I might get the one I want.
He's gone.
There he is. Jerome Ford, baby. Love that. Jerome Ford. Still don't really get his price this year. Nick Chubb's not playing. I'm just going to keep saying it, and hopefully it ends up true. I think Jerome Ford's an awesome pick. This late into a draft. I've got 4 running backs now, 5 wideouts. I'm just going to take my favorite flex player that's left. Let's see, what am I looking at? You know what? I'm gonna do a little handcuff here, and we're gonna get AD Mitchell to round out the squad and cuff him to Anthony Richardson.
All right, cool. I probably want another wide receiver here. I've got 4 on the squad. Probably one of my favorite picks is Joshua Palmer for the Chargers.
There you go.
I've got Brian Thomas, who is an absolute home run at his ADP, in my opinion. Why not go get some Josh Palmer? It's a little late in the game here, but I think he really could have some staying power with this Chargers offense. Wow. Okay, so we're done. That was quick, man. That was a quick exercise. 10-team Superflex. 10-team Superflex. You're going to build some super teams here. So I'll kick things off here. I picked from the 103. I think in any Superflex draft, you have to make the decision, am I going to take my stud QB at first and then maybe kind of like piece together the QB room with like some lower end QB2s. I went with elite QB to start because I thought Jordan Love, it was a perfect spot for me. I really didn't feel the need to take JT or ETN or Barkley. So just Love felt like a good pick for me. And I was really counting on Achan or Pacheco to fall back to me in the fourth, and that happened. So I've got my two great quarterbacks for fantasy, Garrett Wilson, and I've got Achan. So I felt like I could kind of go hero RB in this build and really anchor to elite wide receivers. I picked up Ayuk, who has a little uncertainty that I'm nervous about, but I love Brandon Ayuk, Nico Collins, Devonta Smith. All three of those guys are such talented wide receivers. It's so good to get good receivers and good offenses tied to good quarterbacks. That's what you want. And I have all three there, which I enjoy. And Smith and Hurts, I didn't even realize I got the handcuff there, which excites me.
That's a cuff.
Yep. I then went James Conner RB2. It's a little thin, but Conner was really good last year when he played. You always have to worry about injury risk, but come on. They're running backs. They all get hurt. David Njoku, I felt like is a great tight end here. I love Brock Bowers, but come on. Brock Bowers should not be going ahead of David Njoku. I got Will Levis here as my QB3. I'm a big believer in having three QBs in Superflex because one of these guys gets hurt. You want to plug and chug. You want to have matchup availability. And Levis is honestly, if I didn't get Love, Levis would have been someone I targeted later in the draft and maybe pair him with like a Geno. But again, I went with the elite QB. Javonte Williams, I think, has an outside shot to lead all running backs in receptions this year because of just the Bo Nix noodle arm offense. I think he's going to see a ton of volume. Brian Thomas, one of my favorite upside rookies to take as a wide receiver. I took him over JSN. I want that upside later in the draft that I think BTJ can give me. Big fan of Chase Brown. Do I think he's the undisputed one? No, I think he's getting a little overhyped, but in the 13th round, I'm going to take him. That's the exact type of player you want to bet on. And then Josh Palmer. Big fan of Josh Palmer. I think he's going to be a very consistent force in fantasy this season. Would not be shocked if he went over 1,000 yards, and you're getting him in the 14th round basically for free. All right, Aidan, the 109. You went a double elite quarterback. How'd that feel?
Yeah, so this isn't how I expected it to start. I'd be shocked if Lamar makes it to the 9 spot in any of your drafts, but you never know what's going to happen with Sleeper, so I had to take him there. The plan was to take Richardson on the wrap and start with a wide receiver, but the opportunity was too good to pass up. So, absolutely went, double elite QB here, 2 rushing upside QBs, like absolutely going to anchor this team. Went 3 wide receivers next. If I had to do it again, I think I'd probably go running back with one of these picks. I think anchoring the running back room with Henry or Kyron would have been probably the smarter approach, but I feel really good about the wide receivers I landed. I still pieced together the wide receiver room. So I've got London, I've got Devontae, I've got DJ Moore. Fill out my 2 wide receivers in the flex spot. James Cook is my running back 1. Definitely a good running back, limited upside because of the Josh Allen kind of red zone show. But still really like him there. He's probably more of a running back too, but there he is. Evan Ingram, love Evan Ingram. The dude's still producing. Took a couple of years to pop, but Trevor Lawrence's best friend out there on the football field. Super big, sure-handed target. Got Tank Dell. It's my wide receiver 4. I want as many shares of the Houston passing attack as I can this year, especially Tank Dell and Nico Collins. So, leaving with at least one of them in all of my drafts is for sure a priority. Xavier Worthy, a guy that, as I said, trending up in the right direction. Really impressive preseason game. I think we kind of saw flashes of what he could be. Like, he doesn't need to be a big volume guy, but I think, 5, 6, 7 targets a game, and this guy could be an absolute stud in that offense year one. A couple running backs here that I see as kind of like the 1As or 1Bs. It's kind of like the best way to put all 3 of them. Tony Pollard, Zach Moss, especially are, probably like 50-50 guys in their offense, maybe, tilt them towards 60, depending on which one. I think Moss is a more clear one in his, whereas I think Tony is like a true 50-50 in that offense, but I still like him. Like, we've seen really good football from Tony Pollard, 1 year removed from the leg injury. Baker, just a nice, safe missionary pick, QB3, just to kind of, as insurance if, Rich goes down. Jerome Ford, I treat as a starting running back. Guy was really good last year. I'm really not anticipating Nick Chubb returning to football. If he does, I think the old Nick Chubb is kind of gone. And then I went with another upside pick here, Min 80 Mitchell. I think he's taking advantage of Josh Downs being out a little bit. We're really starting to see some flashes. And I handcuffed Anthony Richardson. So feel pretty good. 3 quarterbacks, 5 wide receivers, 6 wide receivers, and 4 running backs.
I love how against the rest of the AI, it was a lot of 2 QBs, right? We were the only teams that took 3 from what I can see.
I think you have to.
I feel like in a lot of drafts, most people are going to take 3, which is even going to push some of these skill players even further down the board. So I think there's always that push and pull. Do you wait on quarterback and kind of piece it together and just become super elite at wide receiver and running back? I definitely think that's a good strategy. You just have to know who your late round targets are going to be. I really like Will Levis as a late round guy. I like Geno Smith too. Some like the mid rounds guys that I really like the rookies have a ton of ambiguous upside and volatility in a good way. Like Caleb and Jaden are pretty awesome, like rookie bets that are worth making if you want to wait on quarterback a bit. Like team 7 here, this was interesting. Jaden in the 5th, Stafford in the 7th. They waited. They built out a pretty elite receiver and running back room. So that's just an example of what you can do. I like to fill out the QB room. I feel like if you go in with QB firepower,
it makes things easier. You can afford to miss in other places with 2 elite QBs. Whereas if you go vice versa, if you get burned with your elite like flex players and you don't have good QBs to kind of pick up the slack, then I think it puts you in a really hard position.
All right, Aidan, thank you for joining. This was a blast. Always good to go through a Superflex draft. A lot different than a lot of the redraft PPR stuff that we're doing.
Yep.
Again, if you want to see other draft types mocked up, put it in the comments. It's pretty easiest for us to spin these up. We're doing this for you all, the mean team. We appreciate it. Aidan, you got anything to say to the listeners before we jump?
No, that was fun. Yeah, let us know what you think. If if we got Superflex guys out here listening, let us know how we did. This is not our expertise by any means, but hopefully this helps you guys prepare for your upcoming draft. So yeah, we welcome all feedback, good and bad.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Until next time.